Okay, Monday morning, back at it. So, I said I was going to deload, and I've actually taken 2 days completely no training whatsoever so far. So over the weekend I didn't do any training whatsoever, which is all, so I like to do that for a deload, First of all, intense deload, in other words, complete rest, and then start picking it up again. So this session it's going to be upper body, which I always find is quite a bit easier than lower body. So it's going to be upper body and it's going to be low volume. So basically I'm going to do OHP as more or less properly. I'm going to do one hard set followed by a 5x5 easy. Yeah, so it's still quite gentle really. But I'm going to do the OHP properly. So one hard set followed by a 5x5 easy. And then I'm just going to do a couple of sets of pull-ups, a set of dips, a set of press-ups. That's it. Yeah, so the whole thing I'm going to count up comes to about 10 sets. Yeah, so it's an easy day today. Easy day. Okay, there's no PM session or anything like that. So during this deload, it's only training once a day. And I won't even be doing barbells every day. One of those trainings at least is going to be a gentle jog. So yeah, it's going to be. I'm backing off somewhat this week, and then it'll pick up a little bit more. Okay, so last week I talked about achieving certain goals. They're all related to balancing things out, and it's all related to body weight. So my OHP goal is 3/4 of body weight. Now I weigh less than 90 kilos, but let's assume 90 kilos. Let's assume 90 kilos. So I don't know what I'll weigh, when it comes to the actual week that I test all these. But let's assume 90 kilos for the time being. So 3/4 of 90 kilos. So it's going to be about 65, 66, 67, top of my head. Yeah, for 5 reps. Now historically that's about as good as it's ever been. That's even when I was weighing a lot more. So I can see that immediately, in my scheme of things, this idea of hitting certain goals and balancing things out, OHP is a sticking point. So therefore, I'm going to have to program in favour of OHP. Okay, so I've done a bit of warm up, and now all I'm going to do today is one set with 50 kilos. Where I'm probably going to get about 3 reps, I'm guessing. Yeah, so you can see how far behind I am. And then I'm going to lower it down to about 40 kilos and do a 5x5. So that should be pretty gentle after the first set. Yeah. And after that, as I say, a couple of sets of pull-ups, set of dips, one set of press-ups, just to keep them going. Okay. So I'll probably just video this one set. And then I'll video the top set of pull-ups. Take it from there. That's about it really. Okay, see how it goes. So, 50 kilos. I put a bit of choke on, don't know why, but ritual. 50 kilos. Now I'm gonna, This being a deload week, I'm not getting all psyched up or crazy about hitting an incredible PR. This is just a gentle introduction, I suppose, to my my OHP climb. I think that the big issue with me and OHP is, well, first of all, it's not a powerlift. Therefore, I could easily neglect it for years and years and years when I was pursuing powerlifting. Secondly, I never really got the technique down. I always felt awkward doing the technique, so I'd always a case of sort of like, I don't know, bending back and pushing it forward, or bending forward and pushing it back, whatever. It always seemed to be wrong. And I'm not saying that I'm going to remedy that either. I've got it in mind. I've watched all the videos. You can watch them all day. When you do it with the empty bar, you can do it perfectly correctly. But as soon as the weight goes up there, it's a different story. So I've tended to avoid OHP, but no more. So I'm going to have an OHP assault. So, stepping out of the comfort zone. I think someone wrote on my YouTube channel. And I'm stepping out of the comfort zone, so I'm definitely stepping out of the comfort zone pursuing this OHP. So let's do it. Okay. 50 for 4, that's sad. But that's where I begin. Okay, I think I'll stop the filming. As I said, I'm going to do some fairly easy back off sets. Then I'll resume the filming when I get to pull-ups again. Okay, bye.